Have you noticed how often the year 2026 keeps coming up? It appears in economic data, in historical cycles, in ancient prophecies, and in the quiet whispers of a world that feels like it's preparing for a major change. Tonight, we're stepping into the year that the world can't seem to stop circling back to. A year that scientists, futurists, and mystics all seem to agree on, but for completely different reasons. Welcome to WonderBox TV. This video reveals 10 predictions for 2026, a year where expert forecasts collide head-on with the eerie, decades-old visions of Baba Vanga. The patterns we've found are strange. The alignments are unsettling. And the implications, well, they're deeply personal for all of us. Let's begin. Something is set to begin shifting in 2026. Think of it as a quiet signal rising beneath the noise of our daily lives. Economists are already seeing it in their models. Advanced AI programs are detecting it in global data streams. And somehow, the blind mystic Baba Vanga seemed to sense it all the way back in the last century. Prediction number 1, the silent correction. Financial markets rarely whisper. They usually shout or crash. But 2026 looks different. Financial models from major institutions are showing pressure building up in slow motion. This isn't a sudden collapse. It's not a panic-driven crash. It's more like a slow, deliberate glide downward, as if the entire world is finally exhaling after holding its breath for far too long. Global debt cycles are projected to hit their peak. Long-standing housing patterns are expected to reset. And consumer spending, the engine of modern economies, is forecast to slow considerably. Experts are starting to call it the quiet year. Coincidentally, Baba Vanga referred to a time she called the year of realization, a moment when people would finally step back from the chaos and see what has been happening all along. Prediction number 2, the breakthrough. 2026 is slated to be the year that technology crosses an invisible yet profound line. It's not about getting faster or bigger. It's about becoming aware in a way that's already beginning to unsettle its own creators. AI simulations are showing a startling convergence in machine learning behavior, where different systems begin to act in uncannily similar and unpredictable ways. In the medical field, scientists predict a massive acceleration in cures based on early detection technology, making some diseases preventable before they even start. And in the energy sector, scientists are on the cusp of a disruptive breakthrough in efficiency that could change everything. Decades ago, Vanga spoke of a creation that reshapes power. For years, people dismissed it as symbolic, a metaphor for something else. But now, with AI evolving so rapidly, some are starting to wonder if it wasn't a metaphor at all. Prediction number 3, the shift in human behavior. This one is fascinating. Relationship researchers are already seeing the early signs of a major social shift. Across the world, people are beginning to leave old, draining patterns behind. They're choosing smaller, more meaningful social circles. They're actively prioritizing quiet and peace over constant noise and stimulation, and seeking genuine connection over digital chaos. Astonishingly, data collected from 32 different countries shows the exact same trend emerging simultaneously, a kind of emotional reset, a wave of global introspection. Baba Vanga hinted at something very similar, describing a wave of clarity that would enter human hearts. Now, for the first time in modern history, the scientific data seems to agree with the mystic's vision. Prediction number 4, climate's strange return. This prediction is rooted in a well-documented natural cycle. Every 72 years, a rare and powerful atmospheric pattern resurfaces, dramatically altering weather systems around the globe. Scientists have long predicted its return. Meteorologists have now confirmed it's on schedule. And followers of Baba Vanga claim she referenced this exact event, calling it the return of the old sky. 2026 is the year this cycle comes due. Climate anomalies are expected to increase. Established storm routes will shift unpredictably. Dry, arid places will receive sudden, intense rain, while historically cold places may experience bizarre, overnight warming spells. It's a planetary reset written into the laws of nature, aligning perfectly with Vanga's timeline. Prediction number 5, the Great Movement. Global travel and migration data is revealing something odd. By 2026, millions of people are projected to relocate, but not because of a crisis, war, or disaster. They're moving because of opportunity and a strange, intuitive pull. People seem to be drawn toward very specific regions of the world. A belt of land across the Mediterranean, the nations of the Pacific Rim, northern India, and certain parts of Eastern Europe. Mainstream migration models show an unexplainable spike in movement toward these exact zones. Baba Vanga once described a time when people would move like rivers, flowing toward a new purpose. She gave no further explanation, no specific details, just a direction. And now, the data is pointing in that same direction. Prediction number 6, the economic reversal. Here's where 2026 might truly surprise the world. While many parts of the global economy are expected to soften in the silent correction, one specific sector is projected to explode upward: health and longevity. We're talking about breakthrough anti-aging treatments becoming accessible, wearable diagnostics that predict illness weeks in advance, and hyper-personalized medicine tailored to your unique genetic code. Economists are already calling this the decade's most profitable shift. In one of her prophecies, Vanga described a discovery that changes the body, not the world. Perhaps she was referring to this revolution in personal health. Maybe not, but the timing is, once again, uncanny. Prediction number 7, the fracture in communication. Digital analysts are forecasting massive shifts in our online behavior by 2026. It seems we're about to get tired of the endless scroll. A growing movement of people will consciously move away from algorithm-driven content and return to long-form, intentional consumption, reading books, listening to full albums, and watching documentaries. As a result, average attention spans are predicted to rise for the first time in 20 years. Mental noise will drop. The superficial digital tribes that define so much of social media will begin to dissolve. Vanga once made a cryptic reference to the breaking of the mirrors. Many of her followers now interpret this as a metaphor for the collapse of online illusions and the fake personas we project. Prediction number 8, the new centers of power. Geopolitically, 2026 marks a major turning point. But this isn't about war or the collapse of nations. It's a quiet redirection of global influence. New economic and military alliances are set to form, while old ones will either harden or fade away. Power and influence will continue their decisive move eastward and southward. Countries that achieve energy independence will find their geopolitical standing reshaped almost overnight, and ancient trade routes will be reborn as global supply chains shift. Baba Vanga famously predicted a change in the world's balance. For decades, no one knew when this shift would occur. Now, top political analysts are pointing directly to 2026 as the critical inflection point. Prediction number 9, the cosmic echo. This one is for the stargazers. Astronomers have confirmed that a series of rare celestial alignments are set to recur in 2026. These are planetary and stellar patterns that were last observed decades ago, in the very same year that Baba Vanga's most powerful and accurate visions reportedly began. Is it a coincidence? A meaningless pattern? A modern myth projected onto the heavens? Honestly, no one knows for sure. But even skeptical scientists are admitting it. The year 2026 is, as one astronomer put it, unusually loaded with cosmic significance. Prediction number 10, the awakening. This final prediction doesn't come from economists, futurists, or climate models. This one is purely from Baba Vanga. She spoke of a year when humanity would experience what she called a collective understanding. This isn't about reaching enlightenment or achieving perfection. It's simply about understanding. Understanding ourselves, our world, and our place in it. And incredibly, sociologists are already seeing the signs of this. We are witnessing record numbers of people entering therapy, voluntarily leaving toxic work environments, changing careers to find meaning, and finally confronting issues they've avoided for years. People are actively seeking meaning instead of just distraction. Maybe Vanga foresaw a fundamental shift in human consciousness. Or maybe it's just psychology finally catching up with our deepest needs. Or maybe, just maybe, it's both. When you put all of these pieces together, 2026 stops looking like just another year on the calendar. It starts to look like a convergence. A point in time where everything aligns. The economic data aligns with the social trends. The historical cycles repeat. The celestial patterns return. And the ancient prophecies resurface, fitting perfectly into the same window of time. You have economists seeing a correction, scientists seeing breakthroughs, sociologists seeing a behavioral shift, astronomers seeing a cosmic recurrence. And all of it is happening in the exact time frame that Baba Vanga pointed to. Different fields, different languages, different methods, all pointing to the same year, 2026, the year when everything seems to align. If you want more stories where science meets mystery, where hard data meets prophecy, and where the world reveals its hidden patterns, make sure you subscribe to WonderBox TV